Okay, we are off and running on homework set 33 now, which is focused on page 476, and it seems like I say this all the time. Page 476 is definitely another place. It's not that you have time now, because I've identified 4 problem sets for you, at least in the foregoing 7 chapters that we've been dealing with, but they just keep coming up here in the trigonometry section. In page 477, 476, you definitely want to do your homework, certainly look at these videos if you can, and then I would do other problems as well too, because it's doing this work, especially this establishing trigonometric identities work, where you start to develop some facility with the identities, which are relationships between all of the trigonometric functions. And you kind of really learn how these things hook together. And trust me, there are way more identities coming to you. Your cup is going to overflow once we hit the sum and difference identities, which I believe, yeah, they come up in section 7.5. We're now in 7.7. So here are a couple of videos. I think I'm doing 4 in this homework set 33. This one is 50. Your sister problem is 49. And this says show that this left-hand side is equal to this right-hand side. So let's be careful. I'm not going to stress exactly how you do this. Watch how I do it. Mimic it. Don't do anything crazy. The idea is to take the left-hand side and through legal, do air quotes here, legal means, convert it to the right-hand side. And we are starting out easy here because it turns out that the cosine of theta plus 1 all over the cosine of theta minus 1 is equal to, now all I'm going to do is change this, it's equal to 1 over the secant theta plus 1 all over 1 over the secant theta minus 1. And why? Well, because of the reciprocal property, reciprocal relationship, cosine equals 1 over the secant. Yep, look at me not even using arguments there. Okay, so all I've done is make that substitution. Here's a cosine, I replaced it with a 1 over secant. Here's a cosine, I replaced it with 1 over secant. And what a nightmare I've made over here, right? Because now I've got compound fractions, but it won't last long because I now just want to multiply top and bottom by the secant, top and bottom of this left-hand side by the secant. When I do, the secant divided by the secant is 1. The secant times 1 is the secant of theta, and if I do it down here in the bottom, I just multiplied the top. So what I'm doing here is multiplying top and bottom by secant theta. Let me do the bottom now. Secant times 1 over secant is 1. Secant times minus 1 is minus secant theta. And lo and beware, the cosine of theta plus 1 divided by the cosine of theta minus 1 is indeed 1 plus the secant all over 1 minus, and you can write QED to let yourself and others know that you're done. All right, let's move on.